We're back on another exciting episode of Starfleet Boy, where we have a casual and informal Ooh, I just did some. Okay, a casual and informal conversation about Star Trek. Today, we're focused on Star Trek Season One. I don't even we don't even have to say Star Trek the original series because it is just Star Trek, right? So Star
Yeah.
Trek, Season One, episode. I forgot the number, but it's the Squire of Gothos, an iconic episode. Uh, Lots of stuff to talk about today. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I have Ian here, also known as Trek Cat Cat Cat, and we have Fathery Odin. Oh, that was cool. It showed your like for a second. It showed like the previous image of you, and then it switched to this. It looked like you did magic. Uh, Fathery
Oh,
from
cool.
Text Trek. Hello, hello, hello.
Maybe I'm magical, like Trelane.
You are magical, like Trelane. It's true. I um I am Hangover the Next Generation today. I don't know about you, Fathery, but we did a lot of drinking last night. I did at least on Starfleet Boy After Dark, and I realized that I don't have the tolerance I once had. It's gone.
It's a sign of liver failure.
Oh jeez.
Lack of tolerance is getting old. That's
is,
what that is. It's getting old.
That's probably what it is. Hello, greetings and felicitations is in the audience, which is awesome. Judy, hello. We need more Takan Empire and Discovery. Oh, that was the Discovery screen name that you were using. Yeah, we do need more Takan Empire. It's true.
Yeah.
We also have Chris. Hello, Chris. How's it going to you too? Welcome, welcome, welcome. And wait, what is this? Ah, dude, WTF. Were you supposed to come on? Did I invite you on? I'm gonna send you a link.
Send him a
PJ.
link.
Yeah, I'll send you a link. Hold on.
Evan
I
is here
realized.
too.
What? Oh yeah.
Evan-
Hey,
Evan's
Evan.
in the-
Oh my
in the
gosh.
chat.
Look at all these folks. What's going on here?
Yeah.
Evan, if you watch this episode,
Long time no see.
yeah, I know. This is the crew reuniting. All right, here we go. Last night we were we were having a fun time. Evan, if you've seen this episode and you want to come on, let us know. All right, so we're I sent PJ a link. Hopefully, we'll come on. And then Captain RGD is here too. Trelane/Q. Actually, let's just go right into it. Quick summary. The crew of the Enterprise are just having their space patrol, and they are having coffees on the bridge, which was kind of odd.
They drink coffee a lot. They drink coffee a lot in the original series.
I noticed, yeah, or tea. It might be tea, but it's like those little 1960s polystyrene cups or whatever, right?
Yeah, like
those-
you. That's what you drink coffee out of at work.
at work, exactly. I wish I had one so I could show it off. By the way, that racket you hear is my sister. I've got to send her a message. I don't know if you guys hear it, but I hear it.
Yeah, tell her to shut the hell up. We're
I
trying
know,
to do a
seriously.
show.
We're trying to do a show here for crying in the night. Anyways, they're having coffees, and then Sulu suddenly disappears, and then Captain Kirk suddenly disappears, and then they get these like weird messages. And here's Robbie. Hello. How's it going?
Hey, Robbie.
We were just going over the summary real quick, and I was doing it. That's so weird. I just started doing it. I never do the summaries. But anyways, they they get these weird messages from the surface of the planet, and they decide to send a landing party down to go and check it out. And it's supposed to be like a inhospitable environment, but it ends up being really nice and Earth type atmosphere. They discover a castle of some kind or a chateau or something, and then they go into the chateau and they find this weird man who introduced himself as General Trelane Retired. By the way, I'm General Starfleet Boy Retired today, and he and he says he's now a Squire, so you can call him the Squire. You can just refer to him as the Squire, spelled with a capital Q and a lowercase s. And so wackiness ensues. He just starts doing all these crazy things, magical things, like he's able to like make people pop in and out. He's able to freeze people. He's able to kind of force people to do his bidding and his will. So very much like what we later see Q doing in Star Trek The Next Generation. And Captain Kirk has to figure out how to beat him, and so he does but because Trelane's looking for that rush of emotion, he's never felt emotions, right? So he's trying to get angry and he's trying to feel all these human things. And Captain Kirk finally gets his crew to go back to the ship, and then beams down to confront Trelane. And there's like a courtroom style scene where Trelane judges him and tries him for hanging. Again, another little reflection later on when they write Q, they kind of do something similar with that. And they go and they have a sword fight. And just before Captain Kirk is beaten, Trelane's parents, mom and dad, come and stop him.
It has a twist. It's like a M. Night Shyamalan story.
Oh, that he's a kid.
Right.
Yeah.
You forget that, when you're rewatching this, but try to remember that the first time this episode was shown to people, no one knew until the end. It was kind of a secret reveal that kind of changes the whole context of the episode. After you know that.
Mm-hmm. I could have been a contender. He starts whining and crying, and I could have beaten him. I could have won. I could have done it. His accent changes all of a sudden. Now he's like from Jersey. First he's like, anyways, his parents put a stop to it. And it's really odd that they have a dynamic much like parents do on Earth. And so then they apologize to Captain Kirk and send him on his merry way. And there's a cute little scene at the end, as is tradition on TOS, with Spock and Kirk and a smile, and that's it. That was a pretty dumb summary. I'm sorry.
No, that was good. You hit all the high points.
All right, so what do you guys think? Is he a Q? Can we retroactively give Trelane that title, or what do you think? No?
He's a blueprint for a Q. I don't say he's Q.
I think he inspired the Q.
Well, yeah, like he definitely, the character definitely inspired the Q, but can we, as Trekkies, retroactively say that this might be a Q or the Q? As a child,
he was
perhaps.
dependent on technology. He used machines to observe.
He was in command.
Yeah, so like that's why he had the time displacement, was because he was like looking through a telescope. So he's seeing, only at like the speed of light. So he's back in the past. He also had like the machine inside of the mirror. That was part of how he was able to create all of the illusions inside of his house. So that's very, very different from how the Q are depicted, because the Q are just like, can do anything, just make it happen.
But we don't know if they have machines helping them do all that.
No.
See, we think of it as a natural ability, but perhaps the continuum powers this ability in some fashion that is what is that quote?
They make it clear,
like any technology that's sufficiently advanced will appear like magic.
They make it clear that it's actually the Q themselves, though, because we actually see Q lose his powers, and they talk about it like, like they turned me human. I no longer have like my natural abilities that I would typically have. So when we see that in Next Generation, I think that kind of makes it clear that like it's something, it comes from inside them, not from an external source.
I don't know. I think that,
but there are similarities between Trelane and Q.
I think also if he was Q, he would have known what the food tasted like, what the drink tasted like. As McCoy said, straw. You're better off with water and straw. They just was nothing. There was no heat from the fire. There was no taste of the food. The brandy was worse than water. It was all that type of thing. And I think if he was Q, everything would have been just right. Everything would have had the taste and everything else. So, I think he was a blueprint for Q, but I don't think he was Q.
Could it be that when at this point in a Q's development, it's like they're like given like a sandbox with restrictions, right? So like maybe that was kind of like, a toddler Q is meant to kind of like stay in this like fixed environment until they're old enough to be able to use their powers to do all the other stuff that they're able to do. Because otherwise, you can imagine a toddler throwing a tantrum with unlimited power. They could throw off. There'd just be a lot of repairing to do, I would imagine. So it's like I imagine like a developing mind or whatever entity of that kind could possibly be in this sandbox of sorts, or a nursery, if you will, and you could do whatever you want within the confines of it.
That is possible.
Yeah, but you had that. You had the bit with the episode with what's his name? John Delancey's son playing Q.
Yeah.
But he's a
Q2.
teenage Q.
And the name of the episode was Q2.
Yeah, but
I haven't seen that episode yet, actually.
But he was younger, so he was like a teenager Q and everything, and that there wasn't a sandbox thing there. So I think the Voyager episode debunks that anybody trying to get Trelane to Q.
Yeah,
Okay,
I think it's easier just to assume that they're different but similar entities. It's kind of like how when Gene Roddenberry was writing the script for the Star Trek: The Motion Picture, he brought in very similar things to the episode of the original series Nomad, or not Nomad. What was the name of the probe? What was the name of the episode?
It was Nomad.
Changeling,
yeah.
Yeah, the idea of like this Earth probe that goes off and becomes like the super intelligence, and now it's like a major threat and looking for its creator. That's such a blueprint for the motion picture. Similarly, when he was reworking the pilot episode of The Next Generation, because the studio wanted it to be 2 hours. So he had this story about, okay, we're going to go to Farpoint Station. There's going to be like this big mystery. And then like we find out there's like this jellyfish creature that was captured. But they're like, no, we want it to be 2 hours long. So he added Q. And I think he looked back at Trelane and like the idea of like, oh, like this all-powerful godlike being who is kind of obsessed with humanity's primitive past, and actually will put our captain on trial for the sins of mankind. So I think it was the same type of reusing part of a story for a new story. Is the same thing with the motion picture as it was with Q and Encounter at Farpoint.
Yeah, and Gene Roddenberry never stole a story from anybody else. So.
There's a pattern. There's a pattern of behavior there.
Yeah. Yeah. I think everything you said is spot on. Yeah.
Robbie, were you gonna say something? I thought I saw you.
Was it Dorothy Fontana that wrote Encounter at Farpoint?
Right.
Yeah, DC Fontana wrote everything at Farpoint, yeah. And then Gene Roddenberry wrote everything with the Q. So you can tell it's two completely different writers. All the Encounter path at Farpoint is DC Fontana. And because Gene Roddenberry didn't even tell DC Fontana that he was doing that either. He just went ahead and did it.
Very, very cool. We have possibly Chris Collins coming on the stream, and PJ says it's too late since he didn't get an invite earlier. He's not coming on, so he's holding a grudge. Thanks, PJ. And he also says I have a drinking problem. I might, just on Fridays though. The rest of the week I'm okay. Jace is here. Jace says he just watched the episode yesterday. I think it's fortuitous that we got this episode because of another mysterious being that popped up in Discovery this week. Who I think a lot of us think is the Guardian, but some people. So sorry.
Not seen it yet.
Oh my gosh! Thank you. Sorry. Thanks for saying something. I've seen you on Twitter. I assumed. Sorry. My bad. We almost spoiled it.
No, because I'm isolating because we watch it together. So
gotcha.
So I have to wait.
I hope you forget everything I just said.
Yeah, I'll do my best.
Oh shit. I didn't spoil the real good stuff though. Let's just say that. Let's just say it. Chris is here. Yay. I don't know though. He's just a blank screen. I don't know what's going on, Chris. Get your shit together, Chris. No, just kidding. Here, let me see. We can hear you, Chris, I think. Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you. I just don't see you.
Oh, that's okay. Well, we can hear you, so that's cool. I mean, it'd be nice to see you, but at least you can participate.
I don't know why you can't see me either.
Welcome.
It's showing up as a black screen on my side, too. Let's see.
It's Trelane. He's doing this to you. He's a Welcome to the stream. What did you think of this episode, Chris?
Oh, this is one of the better episodes. Definitely, I recommend this as one of the, definitely, like you said, precursors to Q. Yeah, I don't know why it's not showing up as the camera. It's really weird. Something
No worries.
weird,
I mean, oh, look at that.
but yeah, I could
Father's
see you
background just
guys.
changed. Father's background just changed to Trelane's Trelane Chateau. By the way, the way it's lit there, you could tell. We were talking earlier. Robbie and I watched this like we simulcasted it and chatted while we were watching it. And would you guys like to see cheesier sets appear on Strange New Worlds, or would you like to see like how do you want Strange New Worlds to look based on the TOS aesthetic? Like, what do you think should happen?
I want it to be a TOS feel. I want TOS for today, as it were. Whether it's cheesy sets, whether it's cheesy aliens or what. As long as it's an homage to TOS more than anything else, I'll be happy.
Did you think the look of the Enterprise in Discovery was too far off that mark, or do you liked it?
Yeah, I did. I thought it was I thought it was a really good upgrading. Because I just, a lot of people said it's not the Enterprise, but I don't think I could ratify in my brain when you get the Discovery and then you go to the Enterprise and it's the 1960s Enterprise. It's just they just don't meet in the middle. But they put elements in it into the bridge. So I think if they update it the way they've updated the Enterprise bridge, I won't have any problems with it whatsoever.
How do you guys feel? Yay! There's Chris.
Yeah, I really liked the look of everything that we saw on Discovery and in like the short treks that they've done. I would love if over the course of Strange New Worlds, though, if like maybe by the time they end that show, they make things look a little bit more like the original series, then it would kind of like make more sense. But I think they definitely do a good job of like capturing the spirit of like how the more colorful sets and kind of just the broad strokes of that style of design. So I'm confident that whatever they do will look pretty good because that stuff looked so great on Discovery.
Even the magical, huge, gigantic engineering section, like, or whatever it was. Like,
I didn't like that, but that was this one little CGI shot that.
Yeah, they could just rewrite that.
Yeah, to be honest, I think they're going to put them. If they're going to do it, I think they're going to make an engineering.
Like, there's this one little CGI shot.
Well, we heard ourselves, Chris.
Yeah, I think it's because I have my own device and I'm watching the YouTube video so I can see the chat. I had to turn the volume down.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Nice. But I think there's a construction crew in Canada right now building the engineering set, and just when they showed it in that short trek, they just hadn't built it. So, they're just like this whole like their CGI team, the special effects team. They're just like, hey, just throw something together digitally real fast for one shot.
David, I sent you a link in case you want to pop on too. I'm okay with them reimagining the look of Enterprise, but I don't care either way so long as the stories are great. Yeah, ultimately, I agree with that. It's
that's the priority, right?
Yeah. Howdy, Stress-Free K. I would be happy if Disco would have a Q explain. Oh, sorry. Damn it. Guys, we're not doing spoilers we're not talking about Disco today only because Ian hasn't seen it and we want to respect Ian. I'm so sorry, Ian. Don't look at the chat.
It wasn't about the new episode though. That wasn't.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I got scared because I saw Disco and I didn't read the rest.
No, what he said was I would be happy if Disco would have a Q explain that Trelane, Apollo, and friends are all part of the Q continuum. Like all of like the godlike beings are all Q, one and the same.
All right, I agree with that. That's a cool idea.
I think Charlie X is more going towards the Q than Trelane.
Yeah, because like with him, it's like an actual like power from his mind.
Yeah. because obviously I started seeing at the very end of it, where Trelane he's being told off by his parents and he's a bad boy and he said, "Oh, I want to stay, I want to do." So and Charlie X, I don't want to go. So I was starting to see a few comparisons between
Right.
Gothos and Charlie X.
I got the strong impression that the machines aided him in some way, but that he did have a natural ability, because even when the machine is destroyed, he's able to like disappear, and then he's able to still draw the Enterprise to the planet or whatever. Spock actually speculated that the planet might be flying at them, so like so
Right.
And he created the planet, apparently.
He created the planet apparently. So I do think Trelane, there's an argument that could be made that Trelane does, again, a natural ability that's still developing, though. Like, he's not quite, the fact that he's a child, or shown to be a child at the end, tells me that maybe like he's not as powerful as his parents, the beings that are his parents are. And again, forgetting for a moment that Trelane might be Q, just that being or whatever, I do think those beings have a natural ability. They seem to be some kind of entity that has a power, and not that's given a power from a machine. But they do use machines, I guess.
Yeah, right. But if he created the whole planet, I mean, he used to say that the machine itself wasn't in the core of the planet.
Right.
So.
Right, and Spock speculated that in order to change the atmosphere, you would need a gigantic machine. So the machine was probably, whatever was doing the work was somewhere else.
So you're thinking
very cool.
that Trelane could be related to what's the guy from Guardians of the Galaxy too? What's his name?
What's his face's character in Guardians of the Galaxy?
Kurt Russell's character.
Yeah,
Kurt Russell's character.
Ego?
Was it Ego?
Yeah, Ego, the living planet. Yeah,
the living planet. Yeah.
You think Trelane could be something like that, where it's all around the planet, and then?
I don't know. I don't think that's what he is, but I mean, they intentionally leave these things really vague, I think, so that fans or viewers can actually like wonder about it, but also so that they don't write themselves into a hole, like kind of a hole later on if they want to reuse these characters or do more with them later. But yeah, who knows? What did you think? Earlier, greetings and felicitations. Judy said that Trelane's not a good person. Knowing that Trelane's just a kid, do you think Captain Kirk's right? Like when he says at the end, like, "Oh, it's just like how kids like tease other, do mean things and tease other kids." Do you think it's that, or do you think that this is like a malevolent kind of person and definitely needs to be supervised?
Oh, he's a kid.
He definitely needs to be supervised.
Yeah.
But he obviously wants to do fun things. It's like doesn't have anybody to play with, so he's using the crew of the Enterprise to play with, but doesn't like Spock.
No, but he did. I mean, he did say there was one that was quite a childish phrase. "It's my game, it's my rules." He did that. Right. He did say that when I think it was it for the duel. He turned around and said, "It's my game, it's my rules," which is when we're kids. That's what we say. It's my game. I make up the rules. You can't kill me. It's my game.
It did feel like the episode. Is it called Q Who, where Riker gets the invitation?
Right.
I think so. Yeah.
I felt like John Delancey was I felt like John Delancey hiding Q. Thank you. I felt like
they kind of all blend together, don't they?
John Delancey was kind of channeling a bit of Trelane when he was the Marshal, I think, in that episode too, and I think that's why a lot of people want that connection to be there.
And no, I'm not working on Uber.
Yeah.
I just in the car because it's a better signal for the internet stream than where I was sitting in my bedroom.
Oh, that's fascinating. By the way, the actor who played Trelane is William Campbell, and he died in 2011. And he's been in a lot of stuff. I recognize him.
Well, he played Koloth in Trouble with Triples.
Yeah.
And in Deep Space Nine.
And then he comes back for Deep Space Nine and Blood Oath.
Yeah,
that's right. I forgot about that. I forgot about the DS9 return. That's right. That's gonna be. Oh, I love that episode. I just remember you just reminded me of a great DS9 episode. I might have to watch.
Yeah, well, you have all the TOS Klingons there. You have Kang. You have You have the three of them.
They come back.
Yeah.
Did they didn't explain the no ridge to ridge thing, right?
No, they didn't explain that till Enterprise.
As Worf said, it's a long story.
No, or he says we don't talk about it with outsiders or something like that.
Yeah, we do not discuss it with outsiders.
I think they tried to explain it a bit in Enterprise, but that was.
Although Dr. Bashir does kind of answer it in Trials and Tribulations with genetic enhancing. Everything that Dr. Bashir says is basically what gets explained in Enterprise, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, they're like, was it some type of like genetic engineering? Was it some type of like virus mutation? And it's like, yes, it was actually all of that stuff.
What did you guys think of the
we should talk about like his performance as Trelane, because he's
awesome.
He's,
I agree.
Really fun to watch, and when he plays Koloth in season 2 of the show, when he comes back, he's kind of like a like friendlier Klingon. He's kind of like he's a little bit more like chummy with Kirk. He's like, oh, I'm just here on the space station just to have fun, and like I'm gonna tease these Starfleet guys and stuff. But he's not like as antagonistic. He's actually a lot more dangerous as Trelane, and he's still like, he's a guy. Okay, I'm just gonna have fun. You're all my little playthings. We're just gonna like play this game I want to play because I'm a little kid just doing make believe. But he comes off as like so like unhinged and deadly because he has so little regard for human life.
It's true. By the way, sorry for calling you Judy, Jill. Yeah, I agree. Trelane is dangerous at times, and the actor pulls it off really well. He does have a menacing quality, like the crazy eyes, kind of come out in some of the scenes. And you don't know if he's going to kill anyone. Earlier, Jill was pointing out that there was a salt vampire in the scene where he grabs the phaser from what was the name of that? There were two new characters, right? Sal and the scientist, the meteorologist.
Jaeger.
Jaeger. Yeah.
Well, we'll see Sal a little bit more in the course of the show. He's in a few episodes.
Yeah. But you say that about the salt vampire. What made me smile was McCoy's reaction when they first get there. It was like, oh, but it's like he didn't know what it was. When you're thinking, well, you should know what it is. It's there, but yeah.
In his mind, he saw his lover the whole time. He never saw the.
It turned back into Nancy Crater in his perspective.
In his perspective, yeah. I like those new characters. I thought they were really interesting. I also like the masks with the little tiny oxygen tube. I think that's fantastic because like you wouldn't need like a heavy device or something like that, or like a backpack or something like that. In the future, you could just have something that converts, the air into oxygen no matter what. So I really like those little details. I actually wish I had one of those masks. They're so cool. I want to have that for a cosplay.
Yeah, we have to walk around with the mask on now. So
yeah, so it'd be perfect to go to a convention and have a TOS era mask like that. That would be really perfect.
I think I'd like the life support belts from TAS. I think I prefer those. I think those would be better than the little mask. I think just put a belt on and it just completely surrounds you and you're good to go.
Yeah, it's easy for the animators too to animate you.
In a different Shaka Apocalypse is here. That's cool. Hey Shaka. We lost Chris. I know. Trelane just zapped him. The Q just zapped Chris somewhere. Robbie, we noticed the terrible foliage. Like it looked like they got plants from like a nursery and just like didn't even bother really planting them, and like the fake branches and all that. Like, I thought that was really hilarious. Good try, TOS. Good try.
I can't wait to see the planets in Strange New Worlds.
I kind of hope they do stuff like this where it's just potted plants.
I think it'll still have like the high production value of. I think Strange New World is going to look like what if they made the original series today? Like, what if they did like the scripts today and we're shooting it today?
Yeah. I was going to say with Robbie, because Robbie put you put a tweet up. Was it yesterday about Squire of Gothos? And I'm just wondering what sort of feedback you were getting from your. I mean, I saw some of the tweets, but what was the general consensus from your thread on Twitter?
Most of it was positive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think people generally love this episode. It is a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think what we were saying earlier. I think William Campbell plays it really well. He plays it with a sense of humour, but it's that maniacal humour that's there. He'll smile and joke with you, but he'll kill you without a second thought.
David says that Trelane needs a good spanking, a space spanking. Kirk basically gives him Kirk basically gives him a good beating in that fight scene. I thought Kirk was pretty good with that log or whatever, or that branch, and then he actually snaps the sword in half at one point too. He's like, he just grabs it and he actually snaps it. So I thought that was great.
Trelane is loving it. Trelane is like, he's like, oh yeah, like I was watching like Count of Monte Cristo and I wanted to like be in a sword fight like this. So he's like this huge grin.
Yeah. He does get a lot of joy from all this. What did you think of William Shatner in this episode and all the other main performers?
Shat was really good. I love Kirk standing up to Trelane. How he, even when he's confronted with like this all powerful being, he always maintains the position like, no, this is my ship, this is my crew, I'm in charge here. And he stands up to him. That was a lot of fun to watch.
Totally. Yeah. What about you guys?
Yeah, I thought he was typical Shat, but it was a good Shat.
I do like the way that Kirk does this thing where he like really kind of like uses the kind of his adversaries. He plays their game better than they do in a sense, and you get that you really get that impression here, where he's like, but he did almost lose. It was like a very close call, and there is literally a Deus Ex Machina at the end with Trelane's parents coming in to save the day. But yeah, I did like that a lot. I also liked Spock in command. It was a little bit of a different tone than the Galileo 7, and I think that's cool. I think maybe he earned the respect of the crew a little bit better and stuff like that. McCoy wasn't quite as antagonistic this time with Spock and his decisions and stuff like that. So I thought that was really cool and kind of like a progress from that previous episode. Father, this. What was the filming order? Was this filmed after or before Galileo 7?
After.
Okay, so that makes sense. That's cool.
Yeah, this has to be after.
There was Uhura, and then
Galileo 7 was like 7th episode or something.
No, it was just last. Weren't we just doing it? Am I just?
Well, it was released. It was released as the next episode before Squire of Gothos, but I'm not quite sure on the filming.
Yeah,
because they filmed them out in sequence.
Shaka Polka says, "You wish you had a device that converts oxygen into wine." Oh my gosh, you guys! I'm not that much of a lush. Stop it. No, I don't. Unless it's Chateau Picard. Maybe I do wish I had that. Next week on Starfleet Boy After Dark, I'm not drinking. That's it. I declared it. I'm going to be the runabout. I'm going to be the
Robbie's just to prove that statement.
Yes. Yes, Robbie's a teetotaler. Now, I'm gonna be the designated runabout pilot. I'm gonna just watch you all get drunk next week on Starfleet Boy After Dark. We'll see how it goes.
All right.
I'm curious, Earl Grey Truckee, how does this episode hold up to you?
It holds up well. I think most of the episodes are quite dated in some regards, but the acting is good and the storylines are still good. I wouldn't say it was as good as the last episode, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Just
last
not-
week's episode was super good. This one was.
Next week's
Yeah.
episode is we shouldn't tease it yet, but next week we have a really good one. Like one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's a certain bit that really does date it. Is that bit where he's obviously he starts talking French to the sow, and then he does the bow to Sulu, and like Sulu says, is he really being serious? And then obviously then Jaeger as well, and and then also when the women on board, with the bit when he starts talking about Hura, I cringe at that. I really cringe.
Yeah, that's cringy as hell. But if he's observing Earth of old, he's very like European centric. He's like he talks about like Napoleon. He's speaking English. He was familiar with the French, the Germans, and stuff. So, that is probably how people of that place and time, would have thought about someone who looks like Uhura.
Yeah, but
guys, Trelane's here.
Hi, Trelane.
I meant no offense.
Trelane, you can't say that in 2020. You're going to get canceled.
Yeah, but I don't think Father, I don't think they would have filmed it that way today.
No, way. And it would have been cool if Trelane was a little bit more observant of the rest of Earth, and he was also had like some like Asian influences, or I don't know, like Native American, or if he had that same type of like fandom for not just like European culture, but also like the rest of Earth. It would have been cool to see that kind of reflected, just like a hodgepodge of everything.
Car, maybe.
Yeah, maybe he not only liked Napoleon, maybe he liked Shaka Zulu also, or Genghis Khan.
Genghis Khan, or you would have said, or Hannibal, or that type of thing. Yeah.
It would have been great. He seemed to be tuned into Regency era England as his.
And a little bit of like
really
colonial America. Like he mentions Alexander Hamilton.
Oh yeah, he does, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Howdy, SC. Welcome to the stream. Hello. Please give us enough notice to watch the episode first. Oh, for next week. I don't know I don't know. And by the way, Jill also wants to. Has anyone noticed the huge difference between 49-minute episodes and 44-minute episodes? No, I actually haven't. I do like it when we get longer episodes, though.
Yeah. Well, back in the 60s, they had fewer commercials, so they didn't have or they did have longer running times.
So Trelane, now that you're here, I wanted to ask, one of the things the audience and I want to know is, are you in any way associated with the Q Continuum?
Let's be full of merry talk and sallies of wit. I don't
know. He does say that. That is so good.
Sally Ham.
They never let me have any fun. I don't know what accent is he doing in that episode. It's like an American / British.
Yeah,
it's like not quite.
Yeah, it's kind of like the American attempt, like the old school American idea of just like a really weird British accent.
Now,
but
come, Doctor, do partake. It's like what?
It might have been how people used to talk in America, like in the 1700s or something. It could have been like a bit, he's true. Like a voice like Hamilton might have.
But then why does he convert to a Jersey accent from like the 1960s at the end? That's what I want to know. He's like,
how dare you defy me?
When he's crying to his parents, all of a sudden he's like from.
He's
the
like,
Jersey
oh yeah,
Shore.
Come on, Mom and Dad.
Yeah, come on.
What are you doing? Come on.
Have any of you seen? Oh.
Go ahead, sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say,
speaking German. Or whatever he was doing when he's like goose stepping or whatever.
Yeah, that's very like.
Which I don't know if like the German army like marched around like that in the old days.
In the old days, yeah.
I think it was just the Nazis. I think it was just the Nazis who did that. Yeah.
The goose step, as it's known. Yeah, it's funny.
What were you saying, Christopher?
I was going to say, have you guys ever seen any of the special features for the Sci-Fi Channel for this episode? Because the
No.
actor played Trelane. He's actually said about how originally there was a totally different wig that they were trying to do for him, and it made him look like Shirley Temple. And originally, and he said that's the wrong wig. It's not even from the right century. Let's change this out because you're looking at something that's from like the 1500s, and this should be like in the 1800s or something like that. And the other one thing that they talk about on the Sci-Fi Channel special features is how long ago they have it set and what was the real date from when Star Trek was set. And they say it was like a lot shorter period of time is what they have in the special features. They talk about that. And so actually this would take place in the 22nd century instead of the 23rd.
Oh.
Yeah, they kind of weren't sure the exact.
He would look
year
funny with a
Star
blonde
Trek
wig.
took place in.
He would have with the curls. Very nice. Good facts there, Chris. Hey, look at that. There he is. There's the guy.
You know what this episode is? It's one of those old-fashioned teaching kids not to be so goddamn immature episodes. Because, you know, Kirk gives that speech. He's like,
I didn't even think about it that way,
you're
but...
a bumbling, inept fool. And he's like, pretty much, you got to grow up. You're a child. You don't think you have everything handed to you, so you don't have the ability to make decisions for yourself, basically.
Different parenting psychology back in the 60s than we have today.
And basically, what your parents tell you to do as well.
Yeah, it's true.
I think this was also a way to get your low budget by not having to do too much new sets or anything. Just reuse other props and different things, and probably find a set from some other location, because they probably had all kinds of old time period sets that they could use from other movies and just reuse those to make this.
I think that
episode.
happens a lot. Yeah, it happens a lot. I think they use a lot of those Western sets and stuff like that. Robbie, you were gonna say something?
In TNG, they reused Western sets from
yeah,
yeah, like Spectre of the Gun.
Yeah.
One of my favourite episodes, Spectre of the Gun.
Great.
It's a fun one. They need to do a new Western episode. I guess they kind of did a Westerny episode earlier this year in Discovery, but I want I want them like riding horses, wearing cowboy hats, all of that stuff.
Yeah,
Right.
That's gonna happen for sure.
Well, they've had it. They've had the cowboy one in TNG with a fistful of datas.
Yeah. They did it in Enterprise.
In Enterprise as well. So, yeah.
Did DS9 do anything like that, or Voyager?
No.
No.
No. DS9. I don't think so. I'm not really big on Voyagers, so I can't really say.
I'm watching.
They did it in the Orville.
Oh, the Orville, yeah. Well, that's different.
There's a Western episode in the Orville?
Well, no, they show them in like their holodeck, I guess.
Yeah,
the first episode.
Their simulator, whatever they call it in that show.
He's like, I'm in the middle of a game.
Yeah.
There's another holodeck simulator episode that horrified me later on on the Orville. I think I stopped watching after that. No, I'm just kidding. All right, cool. So I think any other thoughts on this episode before we rate it and wrap it up?
Wow. I haven't seen the HD version of this episode, so I don't know how that holds up versus the original. I haven't seen the HD.
I haven't seen the original since I was a kid.
There isn't much of a difference because most of it's in that room, isn't it?
Yeah, the only thing changed is some of the views of Gothos, of the planet. They do add like some little cool lightning, like stormy.
From the
bright lightning pops
from orbit.
And I think when they leave Gothos as well, you actually see the water cells on the rear view, whereas you don't see it in the original. You've got the planet going away. Sort of.
I do love that addition of adding the nacelles in the rear view. That's a really cool, cool thing that the remaster does. Yeah.
I think the parents also probably look different in the HD version. They're probably more defined. I didn't think they. It didn't feel like they redid the effects.
That's the original effects that the parents.
That's the remastered. They didn't do
Oh, okay.
anything. They kept it pretty much exactly the same.
Yeah.
They just took away all the film grain and all the layerings of film that
I know in
caused
the original,
dirt
it
on
always
the visual
bugged.
effects.
Always hated in the original episode how the plant's just used as like a ping pong ball and going bling 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 between the screen and just bouncing off the corners. I'm like, what's going on?
It's been that long since I've seen the old versions of the original
Yeah,
series.
I can't remember. I mean, I think I've got them on DVD somewhere, the original ones, but I haven't seen them for a long time.
We got
I
a
just
text message
watched it on
question.
Netflix.
We've got a text message question. Since the queue's been done so much, they want to know if you guys would like to see the character of Trelane, grown up Trelane, come back in an episode of either Discovery or, well, it couldn't be Strange New Worlds, right? Because that would be a prequel, but like in a newer Star Trek iteration.
I would love Trelane in Lower Decks.
Yeah,
That'd be good. Trelane
Yeah.
and Lower Decks that'd be the place
Yeah.
to do it. Yeah,
Yeah.
it'd be weird to do it in live action again, but if you could have fun with it on Lower Decks, I'm all for it.
Yeah, I think Lower Decks would be the right vehicle for that one. Definitely.
Since we've already done Q, why not do Trelane?
Well,
back?
Yeah, well done. I think
Yeah.
that's a great idea.
Actually, I would quite like it if they actually turn around and mistook him for a Q.
Or if they're either like, hey, you act a lot like Q, trying to put humanity on trial.
Yeah,
Like I never thought I'd
and then Q would turn up and be totally insulted by the fact that they thought Trelane was a Q.
No, I think it would be funnier if Ardra showed up first, then Trelane, then Q.
Oh
and
my
then
gosh!
Q, like,
Get
throw them
all of
off.
the. It's true. That's really. Except
There was a
Ardra
comic
wasn't.
about that. They did a comic book about that recently called The Q Conflict, where it was like the Organians, Q, I think maybe like the Metrons from Arena, but
yeah.
Trelane, like all the different like godlike beings, they all like are basically going to war with each other, and they each like recruit. Like Trelane recruits Captain Kirk in the original series crew. Q gets Picard in the Next Generation crew. Like,
There's
they
a
all
book which I can't believe we almost finished the stream without mentioning Q Squared, Fathery.
Yeah, that was by
Peter David.
Peter David did that one.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it ties Trelane into the Q in that.
In the book, yeah. So it's not canon, but it is, that's where probably a lot of folks get their idea from. I totally almost forgot that book.
Yeah, Peter David is kind of like a big continuity whore and likes to connect everything together like that.
Yeah,
That's a TNG that involves Picard, Q, and Trelane. I forgot about it. I've never read the book, but I do remember when it came out. I actually remember when they released it. So yeah,
I've just recently got the Q conflict, so I think I'm going to be looking over that over Christmas. I think that's
fantastic.
Nice.
Going to do.
All right, everybody. What's your? Oh, I'll give my rating first. This episode gets a solid 7 from me.
7. Yeah, that sounds.
I
about
would
right.
say it's probably a good 8 or 9 episode for me.
I'll give it a 9. I know that's 7. Right.
I'll give it a 7.5.
I will give it 7 tally hos out of 10.
Audience, let us know what you think while we go over all the different promotions we got to do. Lots of promos. We got a big crew here. So Shaka gives it 8 red shirts on the Enterprise, or I'll give it 4 Qs out of 8 red shirts on the Enterprise. That's what his rating is. What do you guys got going on? Robbie was supposed to do a stream today, but because of technical difficulties, you're moving it to tomorrow, right, Robbie?
Yeah.
So everyone go subscribe to Earl Grey Trekkie 1701. Currently, what are your subscribers at? Like 70, right? You're like, no, it was like 30. It was like 30 or 40. You got to get to 47, the magic number, and then stop there. That's where I stopped years ago. And then everyone check out Trek Cat. What do you got going on right now?
Well, I've just posted a build video of the Shenzhou today, so that went out today. I'm sort of up in the air, but I think it's definitely going to be another Star Trek build next. gonna do something else, but I enjoyed doing the Shenzhou so much. It's a throw up between three. So if people want to tell me which one to do, it's either going to be the Enterprise B, the TOS shuttle, or it's going to be the refit Enterprise. So I'm really up in the air about that.
I'm a huge fan.
I am getting very close to. Yeah, that's the one
of the B. So you got to do. I nominate the B. I vote for the B.
Yeah, I'm only about 150 away from the Magic 1701 on Twitter.
Nice.
Oh, right on.
Nice.
So whoever is, and they can prove that they are 1701, is going to be getting. Oh, hang on. If I do that because of the light, that's better.
Ooh.
They will be getting that.
It's a Picard badge.
The Picard badge. So whoever becomes number 1701 will be getting that. So that will be my little giveaway for when I get there. I mean, I don't expect to hit it this year. I think maybe in the new year, but I think that will be sitting there waiting for whoever is follower 1701.
Fantastic. Chris, anything to promote to the audience? What are you up to these days?
I've been mostly doing Instagram and Twitter, but I'm STC Eagle on Instagram and STC Christopher on Twitter. But yeah, I'm not doing too much. Been busy with other stuff. Just got redoing the museum that I work at. They're redoing it till February, so I can make weekends now.
Oh, nice! You should come on more of our streams. That's awesome. Yeah, just let me know. I'm happy to have anyone who's excited about TOS to come on and talk about it. PJ, what have you got going on?
I'm on Starfleet Boy After Dark every Friday for the past 5 years.
For the past 5 years. We haven't even been running that long. That's funny.
Check out last night's stream because we were talking about all the Marvel.
That was awesome.
Star Wars
we got a lot of compliments afterwards. Like
we did.
We did a good job. Yeah, it was really.
We had the graphic up. Father had the graphic on the screen, and we all talked, and it was so much fun. And I think it would be fun for people to watch too.
Yeah, and we're not doing debates anymore, so don't worry. Everyone who found the debates annoying, we're done with those.
And boy, did Disney spill out the candy on all the announcements. On was it Thursday? It was like, dang,
yeah, the investor call.
Everything. It was like, here, we just threw up everything.
Yeah.
Lots of
stuff. Didn't have any cons. Let's just throw it all up.
Yep, it's crazy.
Yeah, we won't talk about it too much here. Everyone, go check out Starfleet Boy After Dark. Father, take us out with your promos, and then we'll say goodbye, everyone.
Sure. Well, you can always catch me on Friday nights at 7:30 p.m. Central. We discuss the latest episode of Star Trek. Right now, we're doing Star Trek Discovery Season 3 on the Text Trek stream. That's live on Facebook and on YouTube. And that's also made available as an audio-only podcast. Wherever you get your podcast from, you can find that Sunday night or early Monday morning.
Ian, after you watch this episode of Discovery and get caught up, I highly recommend you go watch that. It's a nice deep dive that we did, and it was very cool. So, also, audience highly recommend
fun
it.
analysis.
Yeah, it was deep but fun. I like that. Yeah, and it is fun actually.
And just a reminder, Timothy Chalamet is hosting SNL tonight.
Oh, thank you. That's right.
Wow.
Huge Chalamet fan here.
I just said it for your benefit.
I know. Thank you. I appreciate that. I think he should be in Star Trek. That's his next franchise that he's going to be in.
He'd be a great Vulcan.
Yeah.
But he'd be laughing too much. He'd be like, oh.
That's the kid who plays Paul Atreides in the new Dune.
Yeah. And next week, is it next week? Yes, next week, Wonder Woman 1986 or 84. What is it?
It's
2
Christmas
weeks
Day.
from now.
1989 and a half.
My Christmas shopping done. I only got 2 weeks left.
I'm so excited. There's so much going on.
Oh, Patty Jenkins is directing that Star Wars movie too, hey? Oh, it all
Yeah,
connects.
Rogue Squadron.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
I guess anyways, we'll have more streams about that. But anyways, thanks for joining us, PJ. This is cool to have you on our TOS discussion. Thanks for joining us, Chris.
Thanks,
Robbie, Ian, and Fathery. Live long and prosper, audience. Thank you for being with us there. And don't forget to smash the like button so we can confound the algorithm. And also share
confound the algorithm.
Yeah, you got to confound it. All right, just like Kirk confounded Trelane in this episode.
Confounded algorithm.